What is going on? I'm Zedmont, and today, first and foremost, we're going to double check that code Zedmont is thrown in on every single Supercell game, and then we're going to jump straight into Warships. Now, today's video is a Friday long format video. We are going to do lots and lots and lots of things, so do stick around and also check those chapters down below in case you want to skip things. First deal. Right now, in that sidebar, we can see that we've got a Troop Mania. Laser Rangers and Heavies are both super useful on Warships. Heavies a little bit less so since people have all gotten those heavy choppas, but I'm going to use that and I'm going to lean in a little bit. As you can see, I've just been collecting and not thinking or playing really. So we're going to go into that 7 engine room level. We are going to move forwards and we're going to get those doom cannons, I do believe. I hope this is going to work out. We'll find out here in a second. We're going to get the building health. We're going to go through those critter launchers. We're going to go through those mega scorchers, which by the way do work fairly okay. Going to get those doom cannons. And that is going to leave us enough to go back and get Brick. Yes, Brick is going to be our hero. I'm going to show you the noobest, easiest way to get engine rooms quickly to start with. And then we will move forwards and do some other fun stuff. I got to throw some, lots and lots of defenses down because I, of course, just changed the decking and got some new stuff. And it's just frustrating at times to build a base, but this is what we've come up with. There are no rocket launchers, there are no critter launchers, so people are going to be quick, but hopefully we can be quicker, and we're just doing full-on rushes. We've got flares, we've got Brick, we've got her battle orders enabled, and we can also mix in a couple boats of Seekers if needed. What I've seen a lot of people doing is doing 3 boats Bombardiers, 3 boats Heavy Choppas, and then sending some Seekers for the back, but we are just going to rush from engine room to engine room to engine room, and maybe skip a front engine room, maybe this front right, just so that we don't have to... Oof, I'm already overcomplicating it in my brain. I come to you with half-baked ideas, my friends. These are 1000% half-baked ideas. So I think we can do a critter for that one. I think we can do a critter for that one, but it might just completely and utterly backfire. We're going to give it a go. I am going to throw a bunch of these guys down in here. We're going to send you down there. I'm going to go this and that, and we're going to go like that and like that. And now just Brick and her battle orders, and then getting onto that stuff back there as we throw that super value shock, and going engine room to shock launcher. That is my straight up no nonsense plan, and it is full of nonsense. Don't get me wrong, we are all about the nonsense when we're using these heavy choppa buddies, and Brick is somehow still alive in the midst of all of this for the next second or two, and then she's just gonna absolutely eat it. So before she dies, we're gonna get a little bit of a speed boost out of her, and I think she might... Yeah, she was still alive until that last second or two, and then she just finally bit the dust, and now as we approach those final back couple engine rooms, we're going to get some more critter dudes out. Our flare is not high enough level. If you are still working with flare tick 3 or tick 4, you need to get that maxed ASAFP. Highly do recommend it. As our troops get back there, we're going to throw that shock. Intentionally waited because I want them to clear that stupid hot pot, but it looks like we're not going to get enough time to do so, so need very much to get our troops to clear that hot pot, and then hopefully they will have enough oomph to get towards that back, but of course many of them have turned the wrong direction. Need a flare. I am absolutely eating it on this one, but I think we've got enough troops hidden away at that back section, and our opponent has already retreated. So if you're sitting at the 6 engine room level, do go to 7, and then don't split your troops. We definitely should not have split with those Seekers. The left side did well, the right side did very, very poorly, so maybe I needed to hold those right side for a little bit so our troops were in and amongst the stuff. We will do one more attack where we just straight up use all heavy choppas though, no messing around. All heavy choppas is a great viable strategy. A bunch of players have commented and said they got him in a diamond, 22, 23, so gonna give it a go. And many times over these seasons, people start using these difficult split troops and split strategies when all you really need is heavy choppas just to walk through all of the things. This person does not have critter launchers, so we should just be able to walk through all of this stuff as we get our troops moving onto that engine room. And Brick, we will see how Brick does at staying alive. In the last battle, she did manage to stay alive. This one, we will see if she can do equally good. We're going to use Iron Will because I accidentally clicked on the wrong ability while I was off screen, and so that's what we're working with. I really wish we would have had battle orders here, but it's too late now. I am going to throw a shock on that shock launcher, and I'm going to miss the shock launcher just to show you that even if you don't shock the shock launcher, you can get all sorts of value out of sending your troops into harm's way. Not actually the case, but when you screw up, you just got to lean in a little teeny tiny bit. That shock launcher way out wide is worrying me a little teeny tiny bit, so I'm going to send all of my stuff out in that direction first, then we can come back for that engine room. Shouldn't have to move too far. You see how they're already on that engine room, trying to plan our pathing a little bit smart, and then moving forwards onto more engine rooms with a shock just to keep as many of our heavies alive as we possibly can. Brick is dead back there, way back there, but should still be able to get a halfway decent time throwing some critters onto that engine room and just hoping that they have something useful to do as we get a time of about 2 minutes and 10 seconds with no battle orders. So if you've been sleeping on the bus rush, do go give it a shot. That was not a great attack by me, and we still ended up with a pretty gosh darn good time. And you see that time is generally going to be fast enough against most attackers. And if you do go up against a base like this, what I've been doing is dropping 3 boats heavy choppas and 3 boats bombardiers here and clearing, and then as soon as that engine room that is right about there goes down, sending 2 critters to the back. That is not perfect. I can generally get about a 2-minute 10-second time or so, and I do have speed serum on that account, so what I've been trying to do is send my Seekers back to there and having them meet at that far engine room. I'll show you that in a second, but for right now, let's jump on out and see if we can't find something fun to attack. Now, our operation only has 1 base left, but this is one that so many people screw up. Wanted to cover one tiny aspect of this. On the crown, you see that node right there? That is where the flare goes. You see people throwing their flares everywhere willy-nilly for the middle path. It is that simple. Keep an eye on that bit of the crown. That's where our flare is going to go. It will make things far easier. And that center path, you see people go up the left, people go up the right. The center is the easiest walk that saves the most GBE, that gets you there the fastest. Maybe not the easiest walk, but it is the best walk. How about that? We're going to drop Brick over about here. And we do have to worry about that grappler. That's why I did that weird sideways walk, just to try to get our troops where we need them to be. And then as we get towards there, we're going to zoom in as close as we can, flare on that trophy just like we talked about, and then try to get our troops walking. Now, I clearly flared a little bit awkwardly, but you can see they walk that beautiful path. We don't have to boost for this hit. We do have to be a little bit careful with our GBE, most definitely. And then as the Zookas arrive, we get that flare back there. We're going to get a shock about there. Come on, get back there. A couple Zookas will be lost to those boom mines, but overall doesn't really matter all that much. And then shocking the mortars and the machine guns and setting up a little bit towards the back to try to get back there. We've got lots of Zookas left. Don't really need to worry too much. And now we'll throw some GBE on that machine gun there just to try to tidy things up a little bit for the next attacker as we do some damage on core. Now, obviously, if we really needed this to go down, I probably would have either boosted or... Actually, you know what? I would have boosted. And that way you would have had enough GBE to move over into this left corner, which would have been far safer. But you can see here our Zookas are just hiding out in that back corner. Way too often do I see players go for those center shield gens. Don't need to clear any shield gens on Rogue. You just go up the middle, clear around the core, which can be done with Scorchers generally. But Zookas and or Bombardiers work bestest. And then we just burn the core. And we are not going to burn that core. But one of the things I like to do right about now is just to run the heck away and hopefully... did not get any extra love there. So with a couple seconds left, I like to run away. That seems a little bit silly, but what you can do is, you notice that we did clear one mine there. Generally speaking, when the retreat with your landing crafts on the left-hand side, you can clear a bunch of those mines. And we've also left that shield up, which means that the next person to attack is going to get, what's that, 3, 6, 9, 12... in the neighborhood of 24 free gunboat energy. Not that they needed to finish this off, but leaving that shield up, little bit helpful. Kind of like when people retreat. Oh, there we go. Jade Dubston coming in for the easy finish. Now, that is why I try to attack operations early, because you end up getting funner attacks, but I see so many people miss the flare on that crown, so at least we managed to show that little tiny detail. This account is falling quickly. I have been on the downward spiral, just not super inspired, but I will show you a couple different attacks. I talked about mixing in those Seekers, and I got to give a shout out to Commander J Doom. He was the first person that I saw that mentioned it. I'd seen it in replays, but he definitely was the first person I saw that actually talked about doing it, which got my brain thinking. It's tough to get my brain thinking sometimes. So on these sorts of bases, I do have Kavan. I do also have these beautiful giant Scorchers maxed. I also have rifles, as you can see there. So Kavan is doing a little bit. I have tried mixing in Scorchers and rifles and really not getting much goodness out of those. So I'm just going to drop those back there. I'm going to drop these guys over here. Kavan is going to bring out some of those beautiful riflemen, hopefully, and trying to do my second wind fairly early on. Otherwise, he ends up only bringing back heavies. Definitely want some of those beautiful rifle dudes. And here is the thing that I need to get better at. The number of times I have thrown speed serum instead of critters, so I end up speeding up my opponent's defenses. Not sure why I just said defenses in a super awkward fashion, but it's way higher than it probably should be. Like super high, and it is super frustrating at the same time. So I am going to send all of these guys with speed serum, just burning through everything, getting a little bit of luck with that Bombardier turning towards the right, and then just, you know what? I don't have flares, so I was going to say I'd throw my Seekers on that left-hand side, but that would do absolutely nothing for me. So we're just waiting, and I think Kavan is still alive in some way, and as soon as that goes down, we're going to drop those guys, drop that, and then getting the shock on the Doom Cannon. The number one place you need to shock, though, in case you're not aware, is on critter launchers. Holy crow, do they ever slow down your troops. It is bonkers just how much they can slow your troops down. As my bombardiers. Come on, bombardier. Do get that. If you can get that hot pot down, it's going to be such a benefit for my seekers. And now I am going to get a half decent time. Definitely not a great time, but a half decent time is about all I need as my seekers get onto that final engine room. So weird, awkward split hits are the only thing keeping me sane with my bombardiers. Bombardiers, I just don't get excited playing them, but mixing some seekers in, as you saw there, it was not a great hit. It was mediocre at best, but the ability to send troops to the right and to the left, really, really like that. I love the fact that seekers don't go where you tell them to, and this is the same kind of hit. We're going to use a speed serum in that back corner. Definitely need to scout a little bit. There's a boom mine. Only those 2 shock mines I need to worry about only, says the guy who's going to have to throw 2 critters to get them. Maybe I'm going to get artillery next, just to be able to clear mines like that. And then 1, 2, 3, and then some critters there, a shock there, and then bombardiers out. And why I throw those critters is because those, what are those things called? Mortars at shore scare me a little teeny tiny bit. And the amount of time that I waste watching my troops shoot at critter launchers is way too high, which is why I waste a bunch of GBE on critter launchers as well. And now just walking through this, there's not a heck of a lot of skill required with bombardiers to walk through these tough front-loaded bases. With Kavan, you just wait and walk, and all good things happen. I can't remember the last time I fizzled, which means that I'm probably going to fizzle on this attack, but I kind of doubt it. Like, it's just cakewalk every single time. And now that we've gotten this far, I'm going to start to worry about the GBE for that back section, and the fact that I have to throw so much GBE at that back. I need a critter, I need a second critter, and then I need a speed serum and a shock. So at this point I can completely ignore everything but that back section, and artillery is definitely going to be my next unlock, because right about now, watch Kavan, dead. So definitely a lot of GBE required back there, which I shouldn't really need. As long as we had an artillery, that would have cost us like 8 GBE instead of like 70. So we are nearing fizzleness. I called it. Every time I say I have never fizzled, it's almost invariably guaranteed to give me a fizzle. So thankfully those heavies finished off that back rocket launcher. Otherwise I would have been in a absolute world of pain, and now we're in a lot of pain, but not quite what I would describe as a world of it. So there's our shock, there is our speed serum, and now those critters should be able to clear that back couple engine rooms in absolute seconds. It is ridiculous just how fast they can clear an engine room once they get moving, and then I just always fail to get them out of that back section. So definitely screwed that hit up in so many different ways, but I really hope that the idea of mixing seekers in with bombardiers gives you a little bit of thoughts, gets your brain pumping, because I know a bunch of you don't like seekers or don't use seekers much, but this is very much seekers light. You don't have to babysit them, you don't have to worry about every single tiny little detail, you just send them running and they do all the work on their own. So this is going to be an absolute fail of an attack, but I need to get those engine rooms because I want to claim all of my chests in diamond, and as you can see here, my attacks are both up and down and in and out and awful. Did not fizzle though, it did not fizzle by that much health. The tiniest slivers of health against Squiggles McShortname. Picking up that diamond chest, and now barrage too expensive, artillery too expensive, but we've got one more chest. You know what? Let's come back when we have artillery. And of course, off screen, I picked up the win, which just tends to be how it goes. I wanted to show you a simple, look at that log, just gross. Simple way to walk through these bases. Like, it is just dumb simple. And also, I want to show you one more thing, which is my dumbest, immature, fun bit that I love to see. When Kavan is hit by Speed Serum and jumps up and down, it is ridiculous. Like, Kavan on Speed Serum, when he does his second wind, doesn't show you in 4x mode, but in regular speed, it just looks absolutely ridiculous. And you can see I'm just walking through this base. No flares, no smart things, just some critters to clear some mines, and away we go. And I think I'm gonna stick, I was thinking about switching to Barrage and then Speed Serum to get that final engine room down. I was thinking Barrage, but I don't want to throw Barrage on top of my troops. Artillery is cheaper. And of course I can max that even though it's not required. Those Lasertrons are tempting. I really want to troll people with those. So do stick around. By the way, consider subscribing. I've got some crazy stuff coming up in the next couple days. So do keep your eyes on the channel. And hopefully we can do one more fun attack here with artillery. Come on. You didn't give us the base I was hoping for. So instead, we're just going to do the dumb... Now, what I like to do on these ones is drop one boat over there, just to make gosh darn sure that we've got all of the, what are those things called? Mortars covered. Did I just throw the wrong button? Yeah, I did. I meant to throw a shock over there. Instead, I threw something else over there. Not entirely sure what it was. I'm going to totally and utterly overuse artillery just to make gosh darn sure that we get rid of all of the relevant mines, and then just Speed Serum through all of the things. What are we going to shock? We're going to shock the critter launchers because I hate critter launchers. It is insane just how much critter launchers can slow up your attacks. Like over here, our Bombardier's not doing a heck of a lot of good for us. Even with Speed Serum, they just end up chucking onto those critter launchers. But we've got decent skills at the second, getting through all of this stuff. As long as Kavan doesn't get shot in the head like he was about to, might still, to be honest. Got a little bit lucky there. Getting our critters out, getting our artillery out, getting all of the mines cleared, and then running through this base. So if Heavy Chopper Rush is too dumb for you, the Bombardier Rush is about at the same level of dumb rush. You just keep chucking your abilities, you keep throwing things towards your troops, and then hoping that you can get enough Speed Serum to walk through them. And if you had Flare, you would definitely be faster than me, but I am not using flares to prove a point, which is not the best way to play Warships, but you can end up having a little bit of fun and not having someone say, I told you so, is goal number 1 for this season. So 2 minutes, 10 seconds against the dirtiest of dirty bases, using Kavan, using Bombardiers, and then artillery. Now, I am very curious to see how much GBE it actually takes to get rid of an engine room. We're looking at 85,000 divided by 6. That is a lot of artillery. So definitely not going to be using it in that fashion, but against that base way back in here, I think it was. Was it that one? Yes, so I would have been able to throw one artillery there, and one back there or something, just to speed things up a little bit. Speaking of speeding things up a little bit, we are going to lean in very much to that troop mania, and last couple weeks I have been doing all of the Laser Rangers because they are a heck of a lot of fun. But you know what's also a heck of a lot of fun is just straight up Heavy Rush. It's a good practice for Warships too, because you get to get all of the Heavies running towards the engine rooms, and there's only one engine room to worry about. We're going to use brick and battle orders just like on Warships and just rush through all of this stuff. And yes, we will be using no artillery on the buildings. We are going to be using the flares and brick battle orders, getting our troops moving. Super cheap to refresh our troops. I was going to say reflush our troops for some reason, but I will be using some smoke in a couple seconds here. So Boom Beach, lots and lots of good stuff going on at the second. Warship season is almost over, which means there's probably some sneak peeks around the corner. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're going to carry on through this, though, do practice dropping your troops in that beautiful, beautiful straight line of flags, starting at the top, working your way backwards. There are so many different ways to play Boom Beach, and doing things on the main base just help your warships, help your operation attacks, and those straight line flags, knowing how flags work, how flares work, such a big, big difference. A couple seconds here, a couple seconds there are all you need on warships. Speaking of Supercell games, that's an awkward segue if I've ever seen one. Started playing Brawl Stars a little bit in the last couple days. Angels and Demons season. I know a bunch of you are in my clan. I know that a bunch of you use code ZMOD in Brawl Stars, in Heyday even. Like, every little bit that you guys use that code does come through. And I don't play Clash of Clans or Heyday or Clash Royale, and my kids play most of those things. So, if you have a Supercell game that I am not playing, like for example, I don't know who the heck many of you are on Squad Busters, but whenever you add me to your pinata, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I've got a couple people out there that add me to their pinata and they get like 1,200 of those pinata sticks. So thank you very much for carrying me on Squad Busters. It is greatly appreciated. I know that I am a little bit slack at times on all of these things, juggling videos and Boom Beach and other games, and life doesn't go so well sometimes, but doing our bestest to get all of the goodness. And now look at this nice straight line of heavies we've got. Uh-oh, that was supposed to be a flag, not a smoke, not a flare. And now we're going to go something like this. And when you get your heavies to the kill zone, do make sure you use 2 smokes at least, because otherwise they're just too big of dudes. They need a little bit of space. And then as we get there, 1 shock on the shock launcher. You know what? Let's just keep throwing shocks until we run out of shocks. And heavy rush. Headquarters, so good. If you've never tried heavy rushing or rifle rushing with brick, do give it a shot. There are lots and lots of fun ways to play Boom Beach. And I know heavies are supposed to be tanks and they're supposed to stand out front and get shot in the face, but every heavy loves to have an opportunity to do something a little bit different. Using heavies as your DPS, or damage dealer, whatever the heck you want to call them, great opportunity to do stupid fun things. And that is the beauty of Boom Beach, is there's lots and lots and lots and lots of ways to attack, and you don't have to just go with the norms. You can use warriors and cryoneers. You can use all heavies. And these troop manias, as we get a spam call, are a lot of fun to do stupid things, even if you don't have instant training, especially if you don't have instant training. Free troops, good, they're basically free. We get so many diamonds for free that, let's be honest, that is fairly free. And did you see the bonus that we could have gotten on that one? That is something that I did not pay a lot of attention to. Come on, here we go. This is the perfect opportunity to do heavy with a flare. Flares are not often used to drop my heavies, but in this instance, it is the perfect opportunity. Some of these bases are just so poorly set up. Walking along, never build a back right base, please. I am hopeful that none of my subscribers or viewers use a back right base, because this walk along this dock is so peaceful, so tranquil, and everyone and their dog knows how to do it. So we're gonna go smoke into that back corner, and we're just gonna let them hang out back there. No need to flare anything. We're gonna throw that there, and that, and that, and that, and then just hang out for a second, hoping that we can lose 0 troops. 0 troop loss is the goal here. Definitely needed to be quick, because that initial cannon jumped out at us, and now that one boom cannon lost a troop right there. That boom cannon just at the last second took out 1 heavy. And I think that's the only troop we lost rushing stage 7 with heavies. Now, I talked about it just now, but do take a peek there on your attacks, because I hate ads, but there are some times where there's a decent set of loot back there. And on stage 6, I think it was like something in the neighborhood of like 300,000 gold. Now, I have my resource boat absolutely jacked full of resources, hoping that headquarters level 27 is somewhere around the corner. I also have been getting my trader to get some of those trader tokens, or those hero tokens right there, because Rudy at some point is supposed to be potentially coming to the main base. So I want to make sure that I've got enough tokens there, I've got enough goods in there, and I am still working on keeping my upgrades rocking, because it would really, really suck if, in order to get headquarters level 27 or to get Rudy, you had to be XP level 77 or something like that. Very much could be possible. So keep those upgrades rocking. Do keep your missions going. And one thing that a bunch of you have commented over the last little bit is, hey, Zedmot, I got the boom pass and I don't have the island skin. So in order to get the skin, you need to get all of these missions and make your way to the end of the pass to level 2600 in the next 9 days, 13 hours. And that skin is pretty darn awesome, as you can see there. So do make sure, if you've bought the boom pass, you get all the way to the end. We've done some warships. We've talked about some offensive strategies on warships and some defensive base layouts. We did an operation attack. Do we have one more? Yeah, we do, but it's the most boringest attack of all time. So on Duplexity, with 50 members, there are 24 attacks left, and only 4 are needed for this base. So we are just going to walk Everspark in and try to keep her alive and try to get rid of some useful details. Here's the thing. I don't know where the range of that CMO is, so I'm a little bit awkward here. I'm going to go something like this and like that, and I'm going to flare onto that right there and just hope that my lack of scouting is not punished, because I'm a little bit concerned about the range of all of the things, but we should be okay, I think. Come on, get out of that fence. That is good. Okay, so now we're gonna flare onto there. She moved slightly forward, and I'm gonna throw the smoke in the hopes that it comes through, and it of course doesn't. So awful way to end the video, but we can just throw all of our GBE onto that final left-hand side rocket launcher and then retreat. That's all we're gonna do. That's it. That's all. Sometimes in certain task forces, that's all that's required, and in this instance, with 6 hours left and 23 attacks, that's when we're going to leave it. So, Boom Beach, do boost task forces. That is ridiculous that that is an acceptable attack. Using my failures to attack Boom Beach. Perfect. Use code ZMOD in all of your shops. Get that rockin' and rollin'. It will make Boom Beach at least 87% better. I shall talk to you soon. Awkward Friday video, but at least it's sunny outside, even though there was frost this morning, which makes me sad. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Like, share, subscribe, keep the submarine diving, keep booming those beaches. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.